What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there today. We're going to have some fun with a few of you guys out there. Maybe you saw it on Twitter, maybe you saw it on Patreon, wherever you may have seen it. I tweeted out yesterday that, hey, we're going to start mock drafting with you guys, the viewers, on a site called Fantrax. We're going to partner with them here this year and have a lot of content planned to get you guys involved, doing some mock drafts with us here in the off season. But I wanted to kick it off in a certain way, right? We saw all the breaking news this past weekend with Julio Jones going to Tennessee, and one thing that I take away from that, I want a whole lot of Derrick Henry, like an insane amount of Derrick Henry. How can you stack a box with Julio Jones and A.J. Brown on the outside? You can't. 100% you can't. So now you're telling me that King Henry may see the least stacked boxes he's ever seen? We just saw the dude rush for 2,000 yards, so I'm going to try my best to get all the Derrick Henry that I possibly can and really hammer home those heavy running backs. Could I do it, though, against you guys? I mean, obviously, when you sit here and you watch these channels and you talk about heavy running backs early, who takes that approach and who doesn't? I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here, but I mentioned we're going to do this a lot here in the offseason. I want to get you guys ready to go. But do me a favor here real quick. Head over to fantrax.com/headliners and sign up for a free account right now. It's super simple. It'll pop up the page. You fill out the basic information, get yourself set up with an account, and you're good to go. At the bottom of that page, there's a drop-down menu that says, how did you hear about us? Open that up and select the Fantasy Headliners, and you're good to go. Once you're all set up and good to go, from now on when I tweet out links or I place them on the community tab on YouTube, all you have to do is click and join, because honestly, this mock draft filled in like 4 seconds. So if you want to have chances on mock drafts in the future, get that account set up right now, but make sure you use the Headliners tag there under the other section in the dropdown. By the time this video comes out, they may have that site already updated to where it says the Fantasy Headliners as an option in that dropdown, but if you don't see it, don't worry. Just click other, type in Headliners, and you're good to go. But can I find me some Derrick Henry in a draft against you guys? Let's go to the draft room and find out. All right, here we go. Let's head in here. Let's start this draft. It's got to be fun, right? Now, if I had to guess here early in what am I? I'm the third pick here in this draft with a bunch of supporters. I would have to think that everybody is going to be going heavy running back right off the bat. And you saw it right there, right off the bat. Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin could go 1 and 2, but ladies and gentlemen, don't have no fear. Because after the news today of Julio Jones going to Tennessee, I will not mess around anymore. I don't care if I'm anywhere around the front half of a draft like this and Derrick Henry falls to me, you better believe I'm going to take him, right? Because now with Julio Jones in town, does it help fantasy-wise? It may hurt A.J. Brown just slightly, but I mean, there are so many targets available that doesn't bother me too much, right? Julio, A.J. both seeing 100 targets this year, but what that does is that opens up the boxes, opens up the running lane, because they can't stack the boxes with those guys on the outside. Are you kidding me? Derrick Henry could have another huge year, and I am not going to pass him like ever. If I'm the number 1 pick, I'll consider CMC. Honestly, I will. I don't care if it's PPR, whatever it is, Derrick Henry is probably going to be next on my list, because it would not surprise me if this dude goes out there and gets another 1,700 yards this year, well into the double digits in touchdowns. So after that, who'd we have? We had some of these. You got to update your names, right? You got to make sure you update your names. You hop into these mock drafts with us. Make sure so we can go at each other a little bit, because here we got mock drafter 4 went Alvin Kamara, Nevada Lightning right after that with Austin Eckler. That's early for Eckler, really early. But I guess you look at it this way, he probably wouldn't have been there the next time he comes around, right? So that's his guy. He went after it. Me personally, I probably wouldn't have gone past Saquon Barkley or Nick Chubb. But that's just me. So we'll see what happens. Now we got swag on the clock. Mr. Kyle Richardson himself. Who does he go with? He goes with Saquon Barkley. No surprise there. Followed by need upside going Jonathan Taylor. So we know what's going to happen here, right? Another pick coming in is Nick Chubb. Then we go with our first wide receiver, Devontae Adams. And we expect there to be a lot of running backs selected here in the first 2 rounds, right? It's going to be like that in a lot of drafts. And that's okay. Just make sure you get yours, right? You want to make sure you get yours. Now, we get a lot of questions, and being that, we got some time here on the clock, a lot of questions on, hey, what if I don't want to go 2-3 running backs in the first couple rounds? That's cool. Just know that you're accepting risk early, right? you have to make sure you have a good balance of risk and safety in your fantasy football lineups. If it's nothing but risk, okay, but accept that. Know that you're going into the season and you're either going to win it all or you're going to finish in last, right? So just know that going in. If you want to take some risks early, okay, make sure you get some of those safer picks a little bit later to give you the safer floor on a weekly basis. If you play it safe early, you can afford to take a few more risks later on with some names who may not do anything, but if they do, they're going to explode and really put your team over the top. Some guys that fall down rankings, it happens every year. So really pay attention to that. So we had Devontae Adams go to Mock Drafter 9 because Mock Drafter 9 did not update their team name. Then went to Mocking, which is Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke falling all the way to the 10th pick. It's going to happen a lot this year. I love Zeke. I'm looking forward to the bounce back, but a great position there at the number 10 for Mocking. Dustin Isaac Sky. It's all written together. I mean, made me think about it there for a little bit, Dustin. And maybe I still butchered it, whatever it is. But you went Aaron Jones. I don't hate that whatsoever. You look on the board, all the top running backs are now gone. Now, don't misconstrue those words. There's a lot of great running backs left, right? A lot of great running backs left. But here we are with Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, DK Metcalf, the couple of tight ends with Kelsey and Kittle sitting up here at the top still. Personally, the way it's still going, you better believe I'm going to try to go running back again. We see Travis Kelsey go off the board there at the 12th overall pick. I mean, let's be realistic. Kelsey's basically a wide receiver. I don't hate it. Personally, I can't because I got to have those running backs early. Now I'm guessing, hopefully, all I do is win here, goes with a running back here with his second pick. If he doesn't, and he's got to wait all the way in this long wait of picks, dude going to end up with like Jamal Williams as a running back that he's got to start. So we'll see where he goes here in the second pick. But we love doing this, right? This is fun. I like doing stuff with our supporters, with our subscribers. I want to make sure, I'm going to reiterate this a few times throughout the show. We're going to start doing this every single week on this website. We're partnered with Fantrax for the year. A lot of great things coming, some best ball challenges we're going to be announcing here pretty soon with cash prizes. I know you're going to want to be involved in that. But go to fantrax.com/headliners. Fill out for a free account. It doesn't cost you anything. There's a drop-down menu that says, how did you hear about us? You just type in fantasy headliners. You type in headliners. You can, however you want to do it. Eventually, we're going to show up in that drop-down menu. This deal just went through here this weekend, so it hasn't been updated as of yet, but it may be at the time that this actually drops. So make sure you check that out. Sign up for that free account, fantrax.com/headliners, and then I'll be tweeting out. I'll be sending them to our patrons early for these mock drafts, right? I'll be doing some. Kyle will be doing some. We'll try to get Chris Chouse in here to do some. We got maybe the doc will hop in here every once in a while. So I want to make sure you guys have the opportunity to do this kind of stuff with us because it's fun. So we had what do we have? We had Tyreek Hill, and then he went with Cam Akers right afterwards. So no, he didn't. All I do is went double chief. Dude went double chief in the first and second round with Kelsey and Hill. All I do is win. All he's going to do is not have a running back to start here this year. I mean, I don't hate the picks with Kelsey and Hill. I mean, obviously, arguably the number one wide receiver, the number one tight end. He's got those two positions locked down. I don't hate that. But the running back depth is going to be iffy. I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure he doesn't get a running back. I'll draft two more if I need to. Let's see. After that, had Cam Akers. We got some good information coming out on Cam Akers. Make sure you stay subscribed for that. Then Diggs, Hopkins, followed by Antonio Gibson. The pairing of Nick Chubb and Antonio Gibson, I don't hate whatsoever. Lick my boots. I like your start, my friend. I like your start. Followed by DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley. Ridley going to start shooting up draft boards after Julio's been traded. We got to make sure that we don't overvalue Calvin Ridley. Kyle Pitts is now going to get a huge bump. We're going to see some more Russell Gage, some Olamide Zaccheaus going to be involved, some Mike Davis going to be more involved out of the backfield. So really pay attention to that. I am back on the clock now after Keenan Allen and George Kittle have come off. Let me go back to the running back well. Why? Because I want running backs. We got Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris. Okay. I got CEH down here, and this is going to be intriguing. I am all on board with CEH in 2021. Why am I all on board? Everybody was a year early, right? This kid now with a full off season. Love me some him, some J.K. Dobbins, and honestly, I don't even mind Joe Mixon. And So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take CEH right there. Dang, piano started playing. Jacobs, Waller, Joe Mixon off the clock. So now it's between Najee as my number 3, which I don't hate, Miles Sanders, and J.K. Dobbins. Personally, I think the safest option here, and the only reason I'm doing this is I'm going triple running back early. I'm locking up the studs. And when you look at potential volume with Najee Harris, I love it. J.K. Dobbins still splitting with Gus Edwards, but still, I will take Najee Harris, right? This is a risk, right? This is a risk for a lot of people, and I get it, because Najee Harris isn't a given. He's an expected, right? A lot of people expect him to do big things, myself included, somewhat. We don't want the hype to get out, too far in front. Right now is my number 3. That risk is not there, right? Because I have 2 guys ahead of him that I can count on weekly. Even if CEH doesn't pop, he still has that safe floor, right? And I'm all about the safe floor. Now I gamble with Najee Harris, my 3rd running back. I love it. I hope they continue. After this, where we go, mock draft 4 went with Mahomes early for a quarterback. I can't do it personally. Followed by Nevada Lightning with J.K. Dobbins. Him and Eckler paired with Keenan Allen. I love that. Swag Rich, he went out and got himself A.J. Brown. So now he's got Calvin Ridley and A.J. Brown, both guys in the news today. Kyle just said, piss on it. I'm drafting both of them. James Robinson. Come on, upside. You going to take James Robinson in the 3rd with David Montgomery, even Miles Sanders ahead of him? Dude, are you trying to push my buttons? So let me look here. Let me see what we got available. Andrews, Hawkinson, Fant. Nope, I'll wait a little bit longer there on tight end. I went heavy running back, so now let's look at wide receivers. I got a while to wait, right? I can almost guarantee that a couple of my boys ain't going to be there, right? Terry McLaurin, he ain't going to be there. Julio Jones now going to be gone. Mike Evans, I'm sure, will be gone. But I'll have my pick of some safer plays, right? I like me some Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore. Man, if DJ Moore can go to the slot, I would absolutely love that. DJ Chark, a name that I love this year also. Maybe even a Chris Godwin falls. I wouldn't hate that. In the 4th round, I would take that all day long. Starting a little bit of a run here on wide receivers, though. You can see Justin Jefferson, mock drafter 9, is just saying, forget running back. I'm totally forgetting it. He went Adams, Hopkins, and Michael Thomas. So, I mean, he's got it locked up from the pass-catching perspective. Dude's going to have, like, Joe Schmo as a running back at this point. But let's see what all I do is win. Does he finally take a running back? Because he doesn't have one yet. He is the only one, along with mock drafter 9, yet to take a running back. And that is puzzling to me. It's not my style. Hey, everybody's got a style. I get it. Just not my style. There he goes. He went David Montgomery. Smart pick. Don't hate David Montgomery there whatsoever. Great value in the 3rd round. The biggest issue with David Montgomery is Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy's an idiot sometimes. So we need to get some touches there to Mr. David Montgomery. If he gets the touches, we're good. We are definitely good. And as we wait here, all I do is win scouring for another running back, looking at seeing what he can do, who's there for him, and he goes quarterback with Josh Allen. So he got the balanced approach, right? He's got one of each position: tight end, wide receiver, running back, quarterback. Okay, I understand the balanced approach. Long wait again, though, for another running back. Long wait. Maybe part of his thinking is a lot of people have gone running back, so now they're going to have to focus on other positions. But with as deep as the wide receiver position is, I just can't. I'm happy. I am a happy dude if I can get me some Robert Woods, some guys that are just going to soak up targets, right? Give me the guys to get targets. I got my touches early. Between Henry, CEH, and Najee, you're borderline 60 touches right there in 3 rounds. How do you score points in fantasy football? You touch it, right? You need the touches. Everybody wants touches. Everybody wants to get touched, whatever it is. That's almost 60 touches right there on a weekly basis. I love that. For the wide receivers, the same thing. They can't get receptions if they're not getting targets. But they got to be quality targets. So you got to look at the quarterback play. I mean, I'm hoping some of these guys fall. We saw another quarterback go with Kyler Murray, and then Miles Sanders, followed by Mike Evans, mock drafter 9. Okay. He's either incredibly smart or just hates running backs with a passion. Like, they took his girl a while back, a running back did, and now he's just like anti-running back, I'm guessing, is what it is. Just not about it. Lock down the wide receivers, 100%, for sure, with Adams, Hopkins, Thomas, and Evans. A little bit of risk there, right? Even though they're all big names, and it's early. What happens if Aaron Rodgers leaves? Who's the quarterback in New Orleans? I'm not discounting those guys by any means, but they're just question marks, right? Something to pay attention to. But as we get back here, I would take me some Amari Cooper, if I'm being completely honest. Chris Godwin, Robert Woods, guys that I'm looking at right there for sure. Nevada Lightning, he took my Robert Woods, and there goes Amari. Are they watching? I'm not live. No, they're not. You know what? That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and go with Chris Godwin right here. The volume's going to continue to be there. Chris Godwin on arguably one of the best offenses in all of the NFL. Getting him in the 4th round. He may see more volume. The touchdown's going the way of Mike Evans, but the volume's still going to go the way. And it is flying here. Move that down. Now we're going Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore as a number 2. I don't mind DJ Chark. I may go double DJ here. Since I already have, let's see here, Chris Godwin. I'm going to try to soak up some more touches here. I'm going DJ Moore, Carolina Panthers. Quick clock here, right? 45 seconds? Let me scroll this down so you guys can see it. We'll continue to drop it down. At the very end, I'll show everybody's teams here, so don't worry, I'll scroll back and forth. Overall, though, I'm happy. Henry, CEH, Godwin, Moore, Najee, I'll take it. Definitely take it. A lot of good names left, too, right? I expect some more quarterbacks to start going here pretty soon. Will not be surprised, to start seeing a run on quarterbacks. Saw Deontay Johnson go, followed by Tyler Lockett. Let's see here. Kyle on the clock. Kyle just taken everybody who was in the news. Now we got Kyle Pitts. So he's taking everybody that's in the news, right? And here comes our quarterback run, just like we just talked about. Lamar, Rodgers, Dak. Well, we know that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only one quarterback will go in the next 6, because if Dustin or All I Do Is Win take another quarterback, they didn't read the rules because it ain't Superflex. Mock Drafter 9, though, just continues to say F running back. At this point, he's just like, piss on it, I'm all in, right? I'm not going for it. Great guys, great players, but man, I can't afford more bald spots and gray hair. There goes Justin Herbert. Am I worried about this quarterback run? No, I'm really not, right? Because now I don't expect another quarterback to go the earliest until it gets all the way back to Kyle. It shouldn't be in any more quarterbacks till that point. And if you look at who is available at the quarterback position, still got Russell Wilson. I love me some Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, Ryan Tannehill now with A.J. Brown and Julio. Yes, sign me up for that. I don't hate it whatsoever. So, go back to all here. After Justin Herbert, there goes T. Higgins. One thing I can say about fantasy football here in 2021 is you're getting really high-quality players a lot later. The player pool is getting stacked, right? I mean, it's just getting stacked with so much talent that, you're getting great players into the 6th, 7th, 8th round, and it hasn't been like that. There's always been a steady drop-off right around round 6 or so. Still solid players, but there's a huge drop-off. This year, not as much. Followed by Cooper Kupp. All I Do Is Win. Another guy just saying, I ain't going with running backs. Raheem Mostert is available. I'm not overly high on him. Ronald Jones, 54 running backs in Tampa. What about Melvin Gordon? I don't hate Melvin Gordon. I think he loses work as the season goes on to Javonte Williams. I definitely don't want David Johnson. Chase Edmonds truthers. I hate to tell you, James Conner's still going to be a thing. So it's not like it's all Chase Edmonds. Drake is a backup. Yeah, no, I'm not worrying about any of those guys. Let's see where we go here. It's a cool site, though. Now, if you're not familiar with Fantrax, you should probably get familiar with Fantrax, because this site, honestly, is about as customizable as I've ever seen. And it's very unknown to a lot of people, right? And I'm not just saying that because we partnered with them. When you get into the site and see what kind of opportunities you have here, I mean, you can say, hey, I want to do it a half PPR scoring for the first 10 receptions. After they get more than 10, 11 or more, I want to make it 1.5 points PPR. Like, you can customize things like that and make some super, super customizable scoring, and it makes it a lot of fun. What else do we have here? So we saw Mostert go, and then TJ Hawkinson has gone. Next up, who we got on the clock here? Mocking. Yeah. Bird. Yeah. Never mind. Dumb and Dumber. Mocking fell asleep, and he took Kenny Gallaudet. I don't hate Kenny G. Obviously, I love the talent. A lot of weapons in New York, right? A ton of weapons in New York for him to compete with for targets. Mock drafts are always fun, though, right? Everybody loves mock drafts. We're going to start doing these a lot here in the off season, just to give everybody an opportunity. We'll be tweeting things out, so make sure you're following us on Twitter. We had Russell Wilson and Mike Davis come off the clock, so I'm coming up here pretty quick to be on the clock again. Right now we got JPZ in the house, sitting here thinking about, hey, who am I going to take? And let's see here. He went with Ronald Jones. So now I am on the clock. And who do I want? I love me some DJ Chark. I think some safe plus potential is there. Odell Beckham as a number 3. I don't hate it. That's a little bit more of a risk, right? Odell Beckham as a third wide receiver, a little bit more of a risk. So I'm going to take my boy DJ Chark. Plus, now I got double DJ, right? I went double DJ, so that's a good thing. Less names I got to remember. Back on the clock already. And let's see here. What do I have available right now? I can basically go anywhere I want to. Tight end, who do we got? Noah Fant, Hunter Henry, Logan Thomas. You know what? I like me some Logan Thomas this year. I'm going to go ahead and solidify Logan Thomas right now as my tight end. Somebody who can definitely soak up some targets on a weekly basis, right? I mean, obviously we do love ourselves some Fitzmagic in Washington, right? Love some Fitzmagic. But oh well, that's okay. Love some Logan Thomas. I think that he's definitely somebody who can soak up, 8 targets a game or so. I mean, I know we still got Curtis Samuel. We got Terry McLaurin. He could be a great red zone threat. Not a big play guy, I don't think we see in this offense, but definitely something that gives a safe floor, right? It just gives a safe floor. And when you look at the tight ends, we lost kind of Anthony Firsker as being a deep sleeper. Gerald Everett's a name I'll look at a little bit later. Gronk's probably a name that'll fall that I'll look at a little bit later. But yeah, definitely. I'll go ahead and just show all these teams off here a little bit later. It's just getting too big to keep on scrolling down. That's what she said. So who we have after I took Logan Thomas? Had Jalen Waddle, the rookie out of Miami, followed by Nevada Lightning taking Tom Brady. So went with Tom Brady. I didn't get my Brady, but you know what? That's okay. I'm okay with that because it's still early for me. I gotta wait on quarterback. There's just so many good quarterbacks. I mean, let's go over here and just see who's available at the quarterback position. Jalen Hurts still, Joe Burrow, Matt Stafford, Ryan Tannehill. I'm fine with any one of those 3. So as long as one of those 3 make it back to me, I'm good, right? Got Kyle taking Damian Harris there in the 7th. Not a bad pick. I'd hate to rely on Damian Harris, but he probably doesn't have to rely on him at this point. So that's fine. Next up, Upside. Where are we going, Upside? Let's take a look at Upside's team up here. Lamar Jackson, James Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Brandon Ayuk, DK Metcalf, Debo Samuel now. Oh, he went double niner. He went niner on us and went with Debo and Ayuk as his wide receivers. Maybe he's not paying much attention. We'll give him a break. Let's take a look at Kyle's team. What's Kyle look like? Wilson, Barkley, Gaskin, Brown, Ridley, Pitts, and Damian Harris. All right. I don't hate that whatsoever. Got some decent running backs. Kind of a big gap between Saquon and his number 2, but he locked up A.J. Brown and Calvin Ridley, so honestly don't hate that either. All right. Well, what's Mocking doing here? We got David Johnson, Leonard Fournette come off the board. Where is Mocking going to go? This dude ever take a running back? Okay, yeah, he's got Zeke and Sanders. He's good. Now he ended up with Chase Edmonds. Not a bad number 3. Allen Robinson, Kenny G, Stephon Diggs, 3 super study wide receivers. Gallaudet's kind of the wild card, right? As long as Gallaudet can get consistent targets in an offense full of weapons, he'll be all right. But we got to wait and see on that. And what else do we have here? I'll look towards quarterback as it comes back around. Got 8-9 picks or so. Go back and see who all is available. Add some of these guys to a queue if I would like. But let's see. Juju, at this point, he's not that big of a risk because I'm not reliant. I'm talking about bench spots at this point. James Conner, I think, is great value late in drafts. I'll own a lot of James Conner this year because I still think he sees right around 15 touches a game, and he doesn't have to be one of your top 3. So that's the one reason I like him a lot. Jarvis Landry, somebody I still think who sees a lot of targets, right? I still think that he gets a lot of targets this year and has that opportunity to just be a safer play. I was just getting ready to add Jamar Chase to my queue, and all I do is win drafted him. Thanks for that. Let's see, what else do we have? Corey Davis, a decent late round guy. Cole Beasley, always forgotten about. Curtis Samuel. Gus Edwards, a late round running back who still has weekly upside, weekly value. Don't mind him whatsoever. But we got to wait a little bit, right? And we still have a few picks. Mike Gesicki, Hunter Henry, Noah Fant just coming off the board. So that is a little run on tight ends. Come on, make your pick, upside, make your pick. You can do it. You can do it. Wait for it. There he goes, Jarvis Landry. Taking Jarvis Landry. As of right now, I'm still looking quarterback, running back maybe in my next go-around. If I can get a James Conner and then either a Burrow, Stafford, or Tannehill, I'm fine with that. That's the direction I'm going here. Oh, well, there goes Conner. So that's not going to happen. Burrow still sitting there. That'll probably be my top target between him and Stafford as of right now. If Juju sits there, I may take Juju as a little bit of added depth. The targets are going to be huge. They're all going to be short, targets. He's going to get 100 targets, and they're all going to be an average depth of about 8 yards. But he could rack up some receptions, be a safer option on a weekly basis, and he'd be my number 4. So I don't hate that whatsoever for Juju. If all these quarterbacks here, well, at least if Burrow, Stafford, and Tannehill are all available, I'll go with Juju first because I know one of those quarterbacks will hopefully make it back to me. Just got to wait and see. Jay Peasy making his selection. He's thinking about it. He's sweating right now. It's okay. It's just a mock draft. It'll be good. Don't you worry about it. Don't worry. Be happy. All right. So Juju's still sitting there plus all 3 of those quarterbacks. So I know one of those quarterbacks should make it back to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw Juju at this point on my bench and not worry about it. Now he's my 4th wide receiver. And then I'll go quarterback here when it comes back around. Jalen Hurts went, Pittsburgh defense, and then the LA Rams defense. Defense is going way early. So now I get my choice between Burrow, Stafford, or Tannehill. All three of them are here. Let's see here. A little tip. Look and see where they're at here as far as ADPs and stuff go, because then you'll know if you really have a chance to wait on them. Almost everybody else has a quarterback already. So there's a chance that maybe I could end up getting one of these guys even in another couple rounds if I wanted to back it up. Highest ceiling right now is Joe Burrow. Safest pick, in my opinion, is Matthew Stafford. I'm going to take a gamble, and I'm going with Joe Burrow. It's a little bit of a gamble. I'll take another quarterback later, just in case. Burrow starts a little bit slow, coming off the injury. I got another guy, and then, come mid-season when this team starts to hit its stride with all those wide receivers, he could put up some big numbers. All right, let's just fast forward through the rest, shall we? I mean, does anybody want to sit here for the next 35 minutes and watch us all select our bench spots? We can go through it a lot quicker here right now and just look at a few of the observations. So here it is, the overall draft board once the draft was completed. A few of the reaches, in my opinion. Eckler at number 5 by Lightning. I get it. I understand if that's his guy, that probably would have been the only chance he has to get him. So he took him right there at the beginning. Me, personally, I don't know if I could have passed up on a Saquon Barkley, a Nick Chubb, or an Aaron Jones over Austin Eckler. But like I said, we say it all the time, right? If you have a guy and you really want a guy, you have to get the guy, right? You don't want to reach too much. He didn't reach. Eckler's going to go, back of the first, beginning of the second. Anyway, he wouldn't have made it back, so he got what he wanted there. James Robinson at 31 for upside. I'm just worried about that backfield, right? You just don't really know what to expect there. How much do we see Travis Etienne? Is Carlos Hyde involved? He's going to have to be this, the running back 2 in this offense. Chris Carson, a decent option behind him, somebody who often deals with injuries. And then after that, a little bit thin at the running back position, so a lot riding on James Robinson and Chris Carson. That has me worried a little bit. Ronald Jones in the 6th round, going to JPZ. Here's the part that worries me. I obviously have said for years, say no to Rojo, right? And there's a reason for that. It's not like I just hate the guy. They're just not committed to him in Tampa Bay. We know about Leonard Fournette. They brought in Gio Bernard. They still have Keyshawn Vaughn, somebody they drafted last year. A lot of options, and there's not a lot of commitment to anyone in this backfield. On this squad, though, he's their number 2. Behind him, Kenyon Drake, who's splitting with Josh Jacobs. Trey Sermon, who I do love in San Francisco, but more of a second-half guy I'm looking at. Darrell Henderson, solid weekly floor, right? I mean, he's somebody who's still going to get some touches in LA, but the ceiling is just not going to be there. And then James White and Gio Bernard late. A little bit worried about the overall running back squad there. One thing I really noticed, though, that kind of caught me off guard. Look at the amount of defenses and kickers that started to go starting in round 9. I can't go that early at all. I mean, for the most part, kicker, I'll take second to last round, something like that. Defense, okay, I'll take a little bit earlier. I took mine in the 14th, but in the 9th round. When you got guys still available like a Michael Pittman, a Ryan Tannehill if you're looking for a quarterback still, Darnell Mooney, another great option, Cole Beasley, Gus Edwards. I mean, there's so many good names still available. I don't know if I could tie up a defense that early. Now, in my opinion, the reason defenses started to make a little bit of a run here is once one person takes it or 2 people take it, all of a sudden people start thinking about it like, oh, well, here they go. I need to take mine. And that's okay. I understand that. But personally, there's so many solid defenses that I don't need to spend the first one on, the Steelers or the Rams or the Ravens or the Colts. I am perfectly fine with waiting a little bit and getting Washington, Tampa Bay, Cleveland, something like that. I'll gladly wait another couple rounds and take one of those teams instead. A few of the value picks on here. What about Devin Singletary in the 11th round by Mocking? Nobody loves Devin Singletary. I get it. But in the 11th round, for a guy that could still see right around 12 to 15 touches a week in a high-powered offense, I mean, the dude looks great. He's worked out heavy this offseason. It's great value, right, with little risk at this point because you're not having to spend a 5th round pick. He got him in the 11th. What about Marvin Jones in the 13th by Lick My Boots? I mean, that's great value there for Marvin Jones, a solid wide receiver 2 in Jacksonville. Should be a top 36 option in fantasy football. Got him all the way in the 13th. That's great value. He's had Justin Jefferson and Julio Jones early. Cortland Sutton coming off a major injury. If Sutton starts slow, he has Marvin Jones to throw in there as his wide receiver 3. I don't hate that whatsoever. What about Mock Drafter 9 getting John Brown in the 18th round? The last round he picked up John Brown, and everybody's probably thinking, why do I care about John Brown? Well, Really the only guy that was worth a crap in the passing game from the wide receiver position, mind you, in Las Vegas last year, it was Nelson Agholor because of the deep threat. Well, Aguilar's gone, right? He's in New England. Now they brought in John Brown to fill that role. So sure, Darren Waller's going to get his, but John Brown could definitely see some big play opportunities in this offense and really rack up some targets. Plus, we've seen him do it before in the NFL. So to get him in the last round, the last pick, I absolutely love that right there. Just a few observations that I saw. I'm still going back to Peasy here. Ronald Jones is the running back 2. That has me worried. Mock Drafter 9 basically punted running back altogether for the most part. He didn't select a running back until round 6, where he took Melvin Gordon and then followed up in the 7th with David Johnson. I would not want to head into the season with that. Now, with that being said, look at his pass catchers. The first 4 rounds, he went Adams, Hopkins, Thomas, Evans. That is ridiculous pass catching options. I get that. Now, some of them have a few question marks, but it's still early, right? Does Aaron Rodgers stay in Green Bay? Michael Thomas, who's the quarterback there? Mike Evans, how is he going to have to split with Gronk and Godwin and AB and everybody else? But we still know that the floor is super safe with these guys. It's really the ceiling that's in question, right? We just don't know how high that ceiling can go, but dang, that is some serious talent at the wide receiver position. We need to pray for his running backs, though, because he's going to be struggling all year long. Waited all the way till the 14th to get a backup tight end in Jordan Akins, so he's pretty much reliant on Hunter Henry. What kind of split does Henry see with Jonnu Smith? I mean, do they just eat into each other's volume? And we already know if Cam Newton is the quarterback at that point, that he really isn't what he used to be. So tight end, a little bit of a concern there. What about All I Do Is Win? He basically started with a balanced lineup, right? Went tight end, wide receiver, running back, quarterback, and then started to fill out the rest of his needs. And because of that, he's kind of stuck with Raheem Mostert being his number 2. I don't hate David Montgomery being his number 1, being that he went heavy pass catcher there. Actually, he went heavy chief in the first 2 rounds, right? Kelsey Hill. So I don't mind David Montgomery there in the 3rd. Having to rely on Raheem Mostert, Phillip Lindsay, Javonte Williams, Salvin Ahmed, or Keyshawn Vaughn, though, you're going to be struggling the entire year trying to find a running back, and you're going to be having to work the waiver wire every single week trying to find yourself a solidified number 2, because this is what my concern is. Raheem Mostert may start off pretty good, but then Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to come back at some point, and Trey Sermon's going to be involved in that backfield as well. Plus, they brought in Wayne Gallman. I mean, there's just a lot of options in San Francisco that have me worried. So that's going to be a concern there for that team. But you can see all the overall squads here. I want to make sure you guys be a little bit interactive in this video. Leave a comment down below. Which teams do you like? Do you like my team going Derrick Henry, CEH, Najee Harris, followed by Godwin, Moore, and Chark, Logan Thomas, Juju, Burrow, Edwards, Murray, Curtis Samuel, Dallas, Goddard, because as of right now, I'm still feeling fancy. The Cleveland Browns, Carson Wentz, Traquan Smith, Jalen Reagor, and Graham Gano. Let us know down below in the comment section what you think. If you want to be involved in one of these mock drafts going forward, like I said at the beginning of the show, head over to fantrax.com/headliners and sign up for a free account right now. Go do it right now before you forget. So the next time I tweet out or send out these links on the community tab of YouTube, you're already joined. You're ready to go. You click one link and you're in. You can get in super fast that way. And that's what it's all about. We're trying to involve as many people in this community this offseason that we possibly can. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this time of mock draft. It's going to be a little bit different, but we're going to be doing it all offseason and going to be doing it in all different types of formats. So make sure you stick around, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and we will talk to you later.